Good morning. We are out on the boat again at last. It's weeks and weeks since I've been out. It's just constant strong winds from the south-southwest, just making it absolutely impossible to get out. So I was planning on coming out today, rain or shine. The midweek forecast for today was rubbish, 15-20 knots of wind and quite heavy rain. However, rain or shine, and we've got shine. It is an absolutely stunning morning. I thought with the weather forecast that I was going to be confined to the river today, and I might well be. We've still got the remnants of the strong southerly, southwesterly, and the big swells coming in from the Atlantic, so we'll see what it's like when we get there. But the wind calmed down yesterday. It's obviously quite still today. Forecast is light and variable, so I'll continue down the river, just snuck out on the first of the tide. It's quite a good tide time wise today. I got off the mooring just now at 10 o'clock, so not an early start, and I should be able to stay out till about 4, just as it starts to get dark. So yeah, we'll see what it's like at the mouth of the estuary, and I'll bring you back. So I'm just a very short way out to sea with Bolthead behind me. Lots of people have asked me how I decide on weather and tides, and what are the deciding factors about going fishing. Nassim asked me most recently, just looking to buy his first boat. Good luck with that, Nassim. Very exciting buying your first boat. So I'll talk more about the decision-making process a little bit later, but when I get to this point, what I'm looking at is the texture of the horizon. It's not 100% accurate, but it's a very good indicator. So if it's very wiggly, and particularly if it's wiggly and white, you ain't going there. It's horrible. If it's smooth, lovely. Or if like now, what we've got, I won't show you because it won't come out on the camera. It's not wiggly, it's not smooth. There's some texture to the horizon, which tells me that there's a decent swell out there, and we can feel it in here. There's a little bit of funneling effect close to the shore as it gets shallower and as it narrows to the estuary. So there's going to be a swell out there, but swells are doable. They're not dangerous. So I'm going to pop out to a point. It's about 5 miles out. I really like it. We'll see if there's any cod out there, see if there's any bass out there. If the indicator of the horizon proves to be not good, I'll get a couple of miles out and just reassess the situation. But otherwise, I'll press on for 4.5 miles and switch on there. Well, we're out here about 4.5–5 miles off the bar at Salcombe, and it is absolutely stunning. There's quite a long swell, it's quite a tall swell, but yeah, for winter fishing you'll struggle to beat anything like this. We just need to find some fish. Anyway, I've already achieved the aim of the day. Get the boat off its moorings, get some salt air in the lungs, which is absolutely amazing to be out again, and anything else is a bonus. I've got some I've got some mackerel feathers off the back, just in case. Be nice to have some to eat, be nice to have some for bait. And I've got a sidewinder Jerry mackerel, obviously. Just come to this first spot, we'll see what the drift's like. Very little movement in the water at the moment, 0.3 of a knot. If there are fish here, great. If not, look at this, and we saw dolphins on the way out. So to answer Nassim and others' question, how do I choose which tides and weather to go out on? Simply, I don't. I know just through experience, talking to others, knowing the local area, which tides are likely to catch which fish in which areas. However, if I restricted my days to the tides where you're likely to catch a fish, I'd probably go out 4 or 5 times a year. And one thing is certainly sure, you don't catch any fish on dry land, so you've got to give it a go. So if the weather's suitable, and I've got the time, I'll go out. Sometimes you might expect not to catch fish. Sometimes you'll be on a really good tide. That's going to be different for different areas. As far as the weather goes, again, it depends what your boating situation is really. For me, I'm really lucky. I've got the shelter of the estuary that I can run back to, and I'm never going to have a problem getting the boat back on its mooring. If you're beach launching and recovering, that's a very different kettle of fish, and you've got to play the weather a little bit more carefully. But when you've got weather like this, absolutely no issues at all. I haven't moved yet. I keep getting, I started reeling up and I had this funny bite about 10 turns up, something like that, and I keep getting bites about 10 turns up. It doesn't feel like the rattly bites you get from pouting. It feels like it could be cuttlefish or hopefully squid. So I've just put some squid lures on. So I've got a 6-ounce lead because we're in 45 meters of water, and then that just goes to if you can see that, that just goes to a 3-way swivel to standard squid lure, and then a little bit higher up I've got another one, just a different colour one, again off a 3-way swivel. If it is squid, we'll see if we can tempt them. I've had about half a dozen bites from them, but it's nothing taking the lure. So I would have thought if it was smaller fish, I would have hooked into at least one of them by now. But yeah, it's not taking them properly. So we'll drop this down to the bottom and follow a similar pattern. You can fish these just like mackerel feathers, really. Just either a slow retrieve from the bottom, that's where they are, or jig them up and down. We will see. It'd be nice to have a squid. Okay, just drop down for drift number 2. Same area, just move position a little bit with now know the angle of the drift. Nothing on those squid jigs at all, not even a touch, so I'm guessing it wasn't squid. Otherwise, obviously, I'd have caught them. Still got the mackerel feathers off the back. Try this Jerry mackerel. Not much movement in the water, as I said. Yeah, 0.3 of a knot. So going back to what I said earlier, really, you know, oh, there's a dolphin over there, quite a way off. You know the tides that you're likely to catch fish. This isn't one of them. It's too slack. There's not enough movement in the water. But if you're not going to come out and enjoy a day like this just for the boating pleasure, then you're not going to have a boat for very many seasons. Yeah, you've got to get out there and give it a go. Fantastic to see dolphins. They're a little bit far away to show you on the camera. There's just a pair, probably about 300 or 400 yards away. On days like this as well, if you're quiet, you can just hear stuff on the water. Quite often it'll just be a bird landing or taking off, but you can hear dolphins breathing from quite some distance away, really. So yeah, you have to enjoy boating for what it is. And what's not to enjoy about a day like this? Fish would be a bonus, as the old cliche goes. Good on camera as it is in real life, but isn't that brilliant to see those? It's interesting that I was at that previous spot just for 3 drifts really. First drift, loads and loads of bites, but nothing taken, just small fish perhaps. Then tried with the squid jigs, nothing. Put the lure back on, absolutely nothing. And then with that, dolphins appear. So it could be telling, could be the dolphins that frighten the small fish off, or at least put them off feeding. it's just another excuse, and I've got plenty of them and happy to use them mercilessly. So I've come to another area. It's a bit more slightly rockier ground here, just a bit of rough ground really, in 35 meters of water. Again, mackerel feathers off the back on the same lure, just set up for the first drift, and we'll see if there's anything about. Any more? I've come back to spot one in the hope that dolphin fear has gone from the inhabitants, and on first drop I've hooked into something which feels fairly reasonable. In fact, it feels very good. Winter fishing, and we're not blanking. And that is a really nice takeable size cod. Look at the size of the mouth on the thing. Just lip hooked by that sidewinder. Very nice. Let's get him in the box and see if there's another one down there. That'll be about £3 that cod, I reckon. So yeah, nice takeable size fish. Certainly I'm very happy with it. Let's see if it's not the only one down there. The beauty about using braid is you can feel everything that's going on, and something doesn't feel quite right, so I've either flicked on a little bit of weed. I felt something, or when it pinged off the little bit of weed, it's tangled around itself. Well, it's not weed, but it shows we're in the right spot. Brittle stars. The wind's picked up a little bit, so it's changed the angle of drift slightly. It's also got a bit cooler. The snud's gone back on. It's a lot easier to stay warm than it is to get warm. And I've also swapped sides because that increased wind drift just meant I was fishing under the boat on the other side. Nobody likes to do that. So we'll drop it down. Still on the hunt to make that single cod brace. Yeah, with that extra wind we've jumped from a knot to a knot and a half drift, which is still good. Yeah, not too strong yet. The boat is right on the gully. The line's trailing behind, probably 10 or 15 metres, something like that, by the time it gets to the bottom. And there it is on the gully and on a fish. And it's a nice one too. If I was to call it, I'd say cod. Certainly feels like it. This might even be a little bit bigger. It's taking line every now and again. Oh. Lost it at the surface. It was a little bit bigger, but it's a pollock. I don't think he's going to go back. He's blown. Not the normal way to land a fish, but that is a very nice pollock. Not quite the brace that I wanted, but I'm not grumbling. I'll take anything for winter fishing. Right, that last drift over the ridge didn't bring anything at all. Oh, one little porcod actually. Yeah, didn't switch the camera on for that. I was just trying to grab hold of it and it jumped out my hands into the sea, so that was all right. That one got away. So yeah, a day's winter fishing at last. That was good. Really nice morning, beautiful. Saw all the birds in the estuary this morning. That was lucky. I saw the kingfisher straight off. That was nice, and curlew, which I haven't seen for a little while. And then coming out to see the dolphins is brilliant. You know, they're really, really nice. You can't beat that. And we've got a cod for the pot and a pollock, which I will give away. So coming out on a slack tide day, fishing the wrong stage of the tide, harking back to what I said at the start of the video. Yeah, it's not a day you choose to come out to catch fish because the conditions were just wrong. However, the weather conditions were good enough at last to come out, so it was lovely to be out. A couple of bonus fish. Hopefully it'll be another winter fishing session for you. Maybe cod, maybe bass, don't know. Hopefully we'll manage another trip, but keep an eye on the weather and I'll be sure to post one if I do get out and do more fishing. Cheers for now.